four countries who are the members of this squad. They are participating in international fleet review at Japan, and in fact there will be Malabar exercise also. So in this squad, this India, US, Japan and Australia, these four countries are part of this grouping. Okay. So it began after 2004 Indian tsunami. Okay. So as a loose partnership was there at that point of time, and it meant to serve the humanitarian, provide the humanitarian assistance, disaster assistance, humanitarian aid, okay, in the region. So it was formalized by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, in 2007, okay. But it was dormant, quite dormant for nearly a decade. So the participation in the group, or Australia did not want to participate in the group because that would irritate the China, okay. But it was resurrected in 2017 because of this growing influence of China in this Indo-Pacific region. So it reflects the changing attitudes in the region towards China's growing influence, okay. So United States look at it as a pivot towards counterbalancing the Chinese growing influence, okay. So placing more focus on the Indo-Pacific region. The first formal meet that took place in 2021, okay. So they virtually meet because of COVID pandemic. So China concern is that it's the equivalent of NATO, is NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organizations. So this is Asian NATO, okay. But unlike European alliance, there is no mutual defense pact. So this grouping does not have defense pact, okay. So the group is meant to, they outline, the group is meant to deepen economic, diplomatic and military ties among the four countries, okay. So in reality, the group is meant to be a bulwark against the Chinese aggressions in these areas, but it is not explicitly mentioned by them. So March 2021, when these countries meet, they declare the laying out the spirit of the Quad. So these four member countries, they are saying that we bring diverse perspectives and are united in a shared vision for the free and open Indo-Pacific region. Okay. So there are actually there are not cohesive opinion on some of the issues, like, okay. So let us say US is for sanction against Russia, but India is still trading from them. In fact, in October, if you read the newspaper, in October, India is the top importer of Russia is the top exporter of this crude oil, okay. So this grouping saying we strive for a region that is free, open, inclusive, healthy, anchored by democratic values, okay, and unconstrained by coercion, okay. So in 2022, first time in-person summit of the group was held. South Korea has shown the interest in becoming a member, but it was not accepted right now. So India has already, I have already told, India increased its purchase of Russian energy supply after invasion, although quite united in standing up against this Russian invasion of Ukraine. So all other three members, they are against this invasion of Ukraine, because invasion led to actually food shortage or price spike, but India. And in fact, if you read the earlier newspaper or the current events, so India has banned the wheat export. Why? Because we have heat waves, we have faced the heat waves. So there was perception that there might be not be good crop, okay. So there is Quad Plus meetings. So Quad Plus meetings they included the South Korea, New Zealand, Vietnam, okay. And these three countries might form the basis for the future expansion also. So Malabar exercise will be held at Yokosuka. It's in Japan. So it's multilateral naval exercise. It started in 1992. So almost 30 years has passed. A bilateral exercise between India and the US. Okay. So it has started as a bilateral exercise. And what this exercise means? This exercise means they are looking for interoperability. So Indian naval ship Shivalik, these two ships are indigenously built. So India is showing its indigenous capacity also. Okay, so the Sivalik and Kamorta class ships will participate in International Fleet Review and Malabar exercise. And right now, what happened? This Chinese research vessels Yuan Wang 6, it has entered Indian Ocean. So China has increased its presence in Indian Ocean region via Sunda Strait. So Sunda Strait is nearby between Java, Sumatra. Okay. This research vehicles has powerful equipment. They can be used for snooping also. So, and it gathers large amount of data. So it might be used for military purpose also. And Chinese presence started when? It has started in 2008 in Indian Ocean regions. Right now they have, like earlier they used to say that it is it is meant for anti-piracy operations in Gulf of Aden. Okay. Gulf of Aden is close to Horn of Africa. You need to remember it. But after that, post 2008, it has maintained continuous presence in Indian Ocean region and deployed nuclear attack submarines also sometimes, set up military base in Djibouti. So in Africa, you will see it's part of Horn of Africa, and developed several dual-use Mantota in Sri Lanka, okay, in Pakistan, okay, Gadar port in Pakistan, among other countries. So you will see Sunda Strait, where it is. This one is Sumatra. There has been questions in UPSC prelims also, which is closest to India. So Sumatra you will see. First comes Sumatra, then comes Java, and in between you will find Sunda Strait. And this is Strait of Malacca, where the most of the international trade passes through it. Okay, this is very busy route. Now this line is equatorial line. You need to remember it. This one is Borneo. Okay. So equator passes through Borneo, Indonesia. Lake Nasir is quite close to Tropic of Cancer. Okay. In Egypt, if you will see, Lake Nasir is there. So Lake Nasir is quite close to Tropic of Cancer. You should at least look at it. So in conclusion, the article said that the Quad began as a loose partnership after the devastating 2004 tsunami, okay, in Indian Ocean, and Quad leaders held their first formal summit in 2021. Quad members say the group is meant to deepen economic, diplomatic, and military ties. So it is not only a military institution. Now again there is one news which says that the ban on sugar export has been removed by the country. So in our country, Maharashtra, UP and Karnataka, these three states are the top 3 sugar producing states in the country. Now there is one article about Azerbaijan also. It was the interview of a teacher. So it says that Azerbaijan is the first Muslim democracy in the world. However, if you will see this article, there is one significant point that in some of the social issues become irrelevant after certain times or after certain level of development. So in case of Azerbaijan, like it was said that the hijab is not an issue. So in Iran, if you will see, there is protest against hijab, and in India, there is protest for hijab. So, and in Azerbaijan, it is not an issue also. So once the empowerment level or the developmental, socio-economic developmental aspects reach to a certain point, then there are so many issues which becomes irrelevant. So Azerbaijan is the first Muslim democracy in the world. In 1918, it has achieved democracy. So this was the wave of enlightenment and democratic movement spilling into Caucasus region. So if you will see, Azerbaijan is quite close to this Caspian Sea. Okay. From Western Europe to Russia and from Russia to Caucasus region. So it has like this is the direction of the wave for democratic movement. and at that point of time, Azerbaijan has given the right to vote for women also. So universal adult suffrage. So it is quite early for providing voting rights. And in case of India, Operation Ganga, if you will see, there is mention of Operation Ganga. So it was meant for lifting Indian students from Ukraine to India. Okay. Now there is disputed territory, this Nagorno and Karabakh. So for these two regions, Azerbaijan and Armenia, they used to fight. But right now these two regions are in Azerbaijan. Okay. With the support of Turkey, Azerbaijan has, and the negotiations where the Russian mediated negotiations has addressed these solutions. So Nagorno and the Karabakh region, these two regions are in Azerbaijan. Okay. Now what they did, they empowered the women for more than a century, and that's why hijabis do not become part of the public discourse. So it is left to women's own issues. In fact, whether man or woman, someone wears the headscarves, it depends upon their choice. She is the instructor from Azerbaijan. Okay. So you will see this is Azerbaijan. Baku is its capital. Okay. This is Russia, Kazakhstan, and Turkmenistan and Iran. So how many countries are there? Russia 1, Azerbaijan 2, Iran 3, Turkmenistan 4, and Kazakhstan 5. These 5 countries surround this Caspian Sea. Okay. Russia, Azerbaijan, Iran, Turkmenistan, and Kazakhstan. So you can remember it. KAT. Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Qatar, Turkmenistan, Iran, and Russia. Now this is very significant social issue, child marriage. In case of India, we are still having more than 20% of child marriage. This is National Family Health Survey, recent data, very recent data, 5. So as per this data, 23.3% people get married below 18 years of age. So this is quite a concern. Okay. So this UNFPA and UNICEF, UNFPA is United Nations Population Fund. Okay. So it came into existence in 1969. Okay. So UNFPA and UNICEF, these two institutions has the global program to end child marriage. So there is, you can say, Daro mat bachon ki shaadi karo mat, there is pamphlet. So UNFPA is United Nations Population Fund, is a UN sexual and reproductive health agency. Okay, you need to remember this. It might be asked, UNFPA is related to United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency, and its mission is to deliver a world where every pregnancy is wanted and every childbirth is safe and every young person's potential is fulfilled. Okay. So there is increase in number of child brides due to pandemic. Okay. And in India, child marriage reduced from 47.4%, so from 2005-06 to 26.8%, okay, in 2015-16, a decline of 21% point in the decade. So that's quite a big achievement for us. And there is further declination of 3.5%, so from 15-16 to this 2021 in the last 5 years. The total number of girls married stands at 12 million per year. Okay, so it is UNICEF data, and in order to meet the SDG target, so progress needs to required to be accelerated. Without further acceleration, 150 million additional girls will marry before the age of 18 by 2030. These are data that you should read at least once. So in South Asia, progress in this regard has reduced the risk of marrying by more than a third in the past decades. Okay. So in our regions, it has been reduced by more than a third in the past decade, from nearly 50% to below 30%. But it is not enough, and rogues is uneven. Like in some strata, some social strata, the child marriage has reduced, or in some part of this region, child marriage has reduced. Okay, so that is uneven. That's why it is uneven progress. So what are those consequences of child marriage? So it violates, first of all, children's rights. Okay, results in more infant and maternal mortality. Children born to adolescent mothers have greater possibility of seeing stunted growth. Okay, as they have low weight to wasting age. Low weight for height and stunting. Low height for age. And suffering from inadequate nutrition also. So nutrition is not absorbed in their body. Okay. So child marriage is also key determinant of high fertility. So if somebody is getting married at younger age, so they will produce more number of children. And there is poor maternal and child health because of child marriage. So the body is not yet completely developed. Okay. Leads to the lower social status of women, because women are not financially independent also at that age. Okay. So child marriage is basically much more higher. There is higher prevalence among women. Okay. So NFHS 5 says the prevalence of child stunting is 35.5% in 2019-21. Okay. So the reason behind child stunting is given this child marriage. Okay. So there is growing trend for decline in the overall prevalence of this child marriage. Okay. But the 23.3% is still high and quite disturbing percentage because of the large number of population. 8 states in India have higher prevalence of child marriage than national average. So these states are West Bengal and Tripura. Among these states also, West Bengal, Bihar and Tripura, these 3 states tops the list. With more than 40% of women aged between 20 and 24, they said that they are married before the age of 18. Okay. So what are those factors that which are responsible for or linked to this child marriage? Because of poverty, illiteracy, lack of public infrastructure, facility for children, lack of effective social awareness campaign on health, regressive societal norms and inequality. So these things led to this child marriage. So you need to remember this one is quite important. And this consequences of child marriage, these two you should remember. It might be asked in some form or other form. And other things you should read at least once. This article suggests all-pronged approach. What it suggests? What should be the all-pronged approach? So there should be law against child marriage. Okay. And then the law should be strictly enforced. The ideal situation on the ground should be prepared. Okay. So that the girl childs, they can receive the educations and they can become financially independent. So their empowerment should be done through vocational training or should be provided, financial assistance should be provided. Okay. So states with large number of populations of tribal people or tribal poor, okay, actually. So there is higher prevalence of child marriage among them. So in Jharkhand, there is 32.2% of women in the age bracket of 20 to 24 got married before the age of 18. And infant mortality, if you will see in the Jharkhand, stood at 37.9% and 65.8% women are anemic. So you will see that this figure, how large these figures are. Okay. Assam too has high prevalence of child marriage, so 31.8%. So in case of India, so decline in child marriage in Madhya Pradesh, it was earlier 32.4% in 2015-16, so it has right now 23.1%. Okay. In Rajasthan, if you will see, there is huge decline. So right now, Rajasthan has 25.4% from earlier 35.4%, and Haryana also has improved its indicators. And some of the states, they are just pegged below the national average, like Odisha. So 23.3% is the national average, and the Odisha is one of the states that is quite close to this national average. And states who are performing better in these indicators, those states which are having higher literacy levels and better health and other social indicators. So Kerala, such as if you will see Kerala, it performs very well. Women married before 18 stood at 6.1 to 6.3% in 2019-20. And in TN2, Tamil Nadu, also you will see the improved figure at 12.8%. So in case of our country, we have Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006, and then POCSO also, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences 2012. It also prohibits the child marriage. These are aimed at protecting children from violation of human and other rights. And there are government scheme also, say this Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme. So if its better implementations will help. Many initiatives by states, for instance, West Bengal Kanyasri scheme, which offers financial aid to girls for pursuing higher education. So that is also a very good scheme. But again, they have Rupasri also, which provide 25,000 monetary assistance to individuals who are, it is a one-time payment to individuals who are getting married. So it might be counterproductive also, okay, because of marriage you are getting money, so it might be counterproductive in case of West Bengal. Like in case of Bihar, the cycle scheme has helped a lot of girls for educations, and UP also has a scheme to encourage girls to go back to school. So the suggestion is in high prevalence districts, the states in the states of Odisha, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Rajasthan, the focus should be on empowering girls. So they should be provided with adequate health and educations, and the societal norms should be addressed. Okay. So there is Child Protection Committee at Gram Panchayat level, and the child marriage prohibition officers, and with the help of this active community supports, they can achieve this goal of child marriage free village. So in Odisha, there is this child marriage free village. Over 12,000 such villages are there in Odisha. So in 2011, there is Shivraj Patil committee, and its recommendation and other interventions has helped the states like Karnataka to bring down its percentage of child marriage from 42%. Karnataka has 42% in 2005-06 child marriage, so it has now come down to 21.3% in 2019-20. So if you might be asked, Shivraj Patil committee or report in 2011, so it is related to child marriage. Okay, this is what for newspapers. Okay, thanks.